Diaper changing training. Welcome everyone, and thank you for attending today's Texas diaper changing training. The purpose for this training is to ensure that all staff understand and consistently follow the Texas minimum standards related to diaper changing, hand washing, sanitizing, supervision, and infection prevention. As childcare professionals, diaper changing is much more than just a simple routine task that you might do so at home. It is health and safety procedures that directly impacts the well-being of every child as well as adults in our care. Improper diaper changing can lead to the spread of illness, cross-contamination, and licensing deficiency and potential health risks for children and staff. Training overview and purpose. This training ensures caregivers perform diaper changes safely, maintaining health and meeting licensing requirements each and every time they change diapers. Safety, sanitation, and compliance are emphasized to prevent illness and ensure regulatory adherence. Consistent procedures reduce illness, build family trust, and demonstrate professionalism in childcare. This training is designed to support new staff during orientation as well as experienced staff during annual refresher training or as needed. It aligns with Texas Administrative Code requirements and reflects common licensing deficiencies observed during inspections. By completing this training, caregivers will help protect children, families, co-workers, and the program itself. Consistent implementation of these procedures reduces illness, outbreaks, build trust with families, and demonstrate professionalism, accountability within our childcare. So why proper diaper changing matters? It's a practice that are critical in childcare settings because diapering is one of the most common ways that germs do spread. Many serious childhood illness, including E. coli, norovirus, rotavirus, hepatitis A, and hand, foot, and mouth disease, are transmitted through contact with fecal matter and contaminated surfaces. Young children frequently touch their faces, mouths, toys, and classmates, making it easy for germs to spread rapidly if proper sanitation is not followed. From a health perspective, correct diaper change procedure significantly reduces this risk of illness among children and staff. Fewer illnesses means fewer absences, less disruption to your classroom routines, and a healthier learning environment overall. From a regulatory perspective, diaper changing is an area closely monitored by Texas child care licensing because of its direct connection to communicable disease prevention. Inspectors often observe diaper changes in real time and may cite deficiencies if steps are skipped by a staff member or performed incorrectly. Proper diaper changing also demonstrates respect and care for each child in your care. Children deserve to be changed in a clean, safe, and hygienic manner that protects their dignity and comfort. Families expect childcare programs to follow best practices and state regulations, especially for tasks involving health and personal care. By consistently following Texas minimum standards, caregivers show professionalism, attention to details, and commitment to children's well-being. This consistency helps build family trust, supports program reputation, and ensures the ongoing compliance with state licensing requirements in your class with diaper changes. Texas minimum standards clearly outline what caregivers must do when changing diapers in licensed child care centers. Your director is in charge of training you and demonstrating how to change a diaper accordingly. These requirements are not optional and must be followed during every diaper change. Caregivers are required to promptly change wet or soiled diapers to reduce discomfort and prevent skin irritation. Children must be thoroughly cleaned using individual cloth or disposable wipes provided by the parents only, and caregiver must ensure the child is dry before placing a clean diaper on. Hand washing is also a very critical requirement. Caregivers should always wash their hands after each diaper change regardless of the use of gloves. Children's hands also must be washed after every change. In addition, caregivers with open wound or injuries that prevent proper hand washing for them are not permitted to change diapers. Please see your director for accommodation to be approved by your executive. One of the most important sanitation rules is that the diaper changing surface must be sanitized thoroughly after each child is being changed. Soiled diapers must be placed in covered containers, and soiled clothing must be sealed in a plastic bag to send home. These requirements are designed to prevent cross-contamination and ensure a clean, safe environment for all children and staff. Required diaper changing equipment. Texas minimum standards require specific equipment to support safe and sanitary diaper changing. The diaper changing table or surface must be smooth, non-absorbent, and easy to clean. If you have one of those pads on your changing table, it needs to be free of any cuts to make sure that it is non-absorbent and in compliance. This ensures that bodily fluid cannot soak into surface and that proper sanitation can be achieved after each use. Diaper changing may not occur on eating surfaces, couches, or areas where children play, as these locations increase the risk of contamination. A floor changing mat can be used. A hand washing sink must be accessible in or near the diaper changing area so caregivers can immediately wash their hands after each change. Programs must also have necessary supplies readily available, including clean diapers, disposable wipes, gloves, if used by the program policy, and non-absorbent paper liners, if applicable, which I am aware that our school does not apply, sanitizing or disinfecting solution, and covered containers for soiled diapers. Plastic bags must be available for soiled clothing. Having all required equipment organized and within reach before beginning a diaper change is essential. Caregivers should never leave a child unattended on a changing surface to retrieve any of these supplies. Proper setup supports safety, efficiency, and compliance with licensing standards while reducing the likelihood of missed steps during the diaper changing process. Changing table safety. When diapering on an elevated surface, caregivers must use a safety mechanism if available. Keep one hand on the child at all times or remain facing the child within arm's reach. Never walk away from a child being left on changing table, with or without the restraints. Texas Technical Assistance recommends against using safety straps because they are difficult to sanitize and may contribute to cross-contamination. Step 1. Let's change diaper. Preparation. It is the first and most important step in your diaper changing process. Before bringing a child to the changing table, a caregiver must gather all the necessary supplies. It includes a clean diaper for the child to be changed, wipes, gloves if used, and a paper liner if applicable, plastic bags or soiled clothing, and any authorized ointment labeled with the child's name brought only from home. Preparing in advance ensures the caregiver can maintain constant supervision and physical contact with the child throughout the process of changing the diaper. Caregivers should inspect the changing surface to ensure it is clean and ready for use before laying the child down. Caregiver must wash their hands before beginning the diaper change if they are visibly soiled or as required by program policy. Proper preparation reduces the risk of accidents, contamination, and noncompliance. Licensing inspectors frequently observe whether caregivers are prepared and whether children are ever left unattended. Consistent preparation demonstrates professionalism and helps ensure the diaper changing process proceeds smoothly, safely, and in full compliance with Texas minimum standards. Diaper changing surfaces must be smooth, non-absorbent, and easy to clean. Diapering may not occur on dining tables, sofas, or floor play areas. A hand washing sink must be available in the diaper changing area. Using a designated diapering area helps minimize contamination throughout the center. Ask for help and more training from your director when in need and need a refresher. Step 2. Changing the diaper safely. During the diaper change, caregiver supervision and safety are critical, not only to the child being changed, but also the ones on the floor. If the changing surface is elevated, the caregiver must keep one hand on the child at all times or remain within arm's reach and facing the child. This prevents falls and injuries, which are serious safety concerns in childcare settings. The caregiver should remove the soiled diaper and clean the child thoroughly. For the females, it is always front to back, wiping and reducing the spread of bacteria. Used wipes and diapers must be disposed of immediately in a covered container. If clothing is soiled, it should be removed carefully and placed in a sealed plastic bag to be sent home. After cleaning, the caregiver must ensure the child is completely dry before applying a clean diaper. Ointments or creams may only be applied with parental permission and brought from home. Throughout the process, caregivers should remain calm, attentive, and respectful, ensuring the child feels secure and cared for. These steps protect the child's health while meeting the state's safety and sanitation expectations. Step 3. Hand washing requirements. Hand washing is one of the most effective ways to prevent the spread of germs and is strictly required by Texas minimum standards. After every diaper change, caregivers must wash their hands with soap and water, even if gloves were worn. Gloves are considered an additional protective measure, but do not replace the proper hand washing for anyone. Children's hands must also be washed after each diaper change. This step is sometimes overlooked, but is a frequent focus during licensing inspections and health inspectors. Children may touch their diaper area, the changing surface, or the caregiver during the process, which makes the hand washing essential to prevent contamination of toys, furniture, and other children. Proper hand washing includes wetting hands, applying soap, scrubbing for at least 20 seconds, rinsing thoroughly, and drying with disposable towel. Following these steps consistently protects everyone in the classroom and demonstrates compliance with health and safety regulations. Programs that emphasize hand washing significantly reduces illness and maintain higher overall sanitation standards. Children's hands must be washed using soap and water only. If an infant cannot effectively use a sink, caregiver may spray hands with a soap and water solution, rinse with a water bottle or water spray bottle, and dry with a paper towel. Hand sanitizer or sanitization solution must never replace hand washing during diapering procedure, and it is dangerous to the children and adults. 4-bottle sanitizing system. The 4-bottle system helps prevent cross-contamination and supports the proper health and sanitation practices as advised by the health inspector. Hard sanitizer is used for diaper changing and bodily fluid. Soft sanitizer is used for general classroom surfaces. Soap and water is used for hand washing, and water is used for rinsing. All bottles must be prepared fresh daily, clearly labeled and checked each day, and stored out of children's reach at all times. Every classroom must have 4 clearly labeled bottles: hard sanitizer, as we discussed, the soft sanitizer, the soap and water. The hard and soft sanitizer must never be used on children's skin or hands. We should always follow manufacturer's contact time instructions. All bottles must be clearly labeled. Staff must read the labels before each use. Solution should be prepared according to the center procedures. Bottles must be stored out of reach of children, and children wash hands with soap and water only. Sanitizers are for surfaces and not for hand washing. Never spray sanitizer directly on children's skin. The golden rule here is the hands get washed with soap and water and rinse. Surfaces get sanitized, and children will never handle chemical bottles. All chemicals stay out of children's reach. As it is a lot of information, to help you, we have created whole new labels for our sanitizing bottle system. Not only includes what is included within the solution, but it also tells you what to use it for. It also has a class label that you can write down so you know which bottle belongs to which classroom. All you have to do is make sure it is always on your bottles and always updated and made fresh. Sanitizing with bleach. When using bleach, wash with soap and water, rinse with clean water, and apply bleach solution for at least 2 minutes. Then rinse the items that children may place in their mouths and allow the surfaces to air dry. When mopping the surfaces and or floor, please make sure that no one in your classroom is allergic to the substance. All sanitizing solutions, bleach, soap bottles, and all the spray bottles must be stored out of children's reach. Children's hands are washed and surfaces are sanitized with the chemicals. Staff should verify bottle labels before each use and follow all center chemical safety procedures at all times. Diaper creams, ointments, lotions, and powders. Apply any powder, cream, ointment, or lotion only when authorized by the parent in writing and properly labeled with the individual child's name on actual product. Never use another child's ointment, cream, lotion, or powder regardless of the child's condition. Children may have allergies and or be sensitive to the product that you might be applying. If a child has a rash but no authorized product is available, notify the director and parent and ask them to bring one at the moment and or tomorrow. But never use anyone else's product to help the child. Apply diaper ointment only to affected areas. Follow the central policy regarding powder products. Common licensing deficiencies related to diaper changing often result from skipped steps or inconsistent practices. Common deficiencies include failing to wash the child's hand after diapering, failing to wash their own caregiver's hands, and not sanitizing the changing surface after each use. Inspector may also cite the program when children are left unattended, even for a brief second, on changing tables. Other frequent issues will also include using inappropriate surface for diaper changing, such as tables, using for eating or play, and improper disposal of diapers or soiled clothing. Missing parental authorization for ointments and cream is also another common compliance issue. Understanding these common deficiencies helps caregivers avoid them. Consistency, preparation, and adherence to procedures are the best way to ensure compliance. Programs that regularly review diaper changing practices and provide refresher training are more likely to maintain compliance and avoid corrective actions during inspections. Sanitizing the diaper changing surface. Texas minimum standard requires that the diaper changing surface be sanitized after each use. And sanitizing is a critical step because the changing surface comes into direct contact with bodily fluids that can carry harmful germs. If a visible soil is present, surface must be cleaned with soap and water to remove debris. After cleaning, an approved sanitizer or disinfectant must be applied to the entire surface, and caregiver must follow the manufacturer's instruction, including required contact time. The surface must remain wet for the full contact time to effectively kill germs. Once the contact time is complete, the surface may be air dried or wiped if directed by the product label. The technical assistance for 746-3501 is taken straight from the minimum standards. A pleasant attitude during diaper changes supports children's positive self-image. Do not just leave the child and just get to the business and change the diaper. Please take your time to acknowledge the child. Talk to them. Wipes are helpful for removing residue from child's skin, not just for diaper change, but for their face. Parents should grant permission for over-the-counter product before the needs arise. Caregivers should maintain respectful and professional interaction throughout the diaper changing process as required by state of Texas minimum standards. Knowledge check and staff accountability. A knowledge check reinforces learning and ensures staff understanding that responsibilities are important and their priority. Caregivers should be able to explain how often the changing surface must be sanitized, confirm that gloves do not replace hand washing, and state that children must never be left unattended on a changing table. Staff should also know proper procedures for disposing of diapers and handling soiled clothing. Staff accountability is an essential part of maintaining compliance. Programs should document diaper changing training during orientation and annually thereafter. Caregivers should sign acknowledgments confirming they understand and will follow the procedures. Supervisors should observe diaper changing practices regularly and provide coaching and correction as needed. When staff are confident in their knowledge and supported through the training and supervision, diaper changing procedures become routine and consistent. This consistency protects children, supports staff, and ensures the program remains in good standing with licensing.